Traders, welcome back to the channel. We got tons of information to cover in the video. If you watched the previous video yesterday going over earnings and things like that and what I was expecting, well, let me tell you something. We got everything we wanted. We got the date that we're going to have the share recount. So ladies and gents, let me tell you something. He's back. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the one, the only, the hammer. The hammer is back, and let me tell you something. He's saying buy, and I'm not talking shares because I have a lot of people here saying, Tyler, I want to hold to the moon, and that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about options because I believe this is going to be the month of options for AMC. So grab the hammer and let me hear you buy, buy, buy. Throw the hammer away because you just bought in, you went full send it to the moon, and now let's get to the content. All right, so to start us off, just ignore that right there. But what we're going to do is talk about the bad news. Now, I want to discuss the good and the bad from the video. Now, there's two things, in my opinion, that were bad. In my previous videos, I did state I did not think that there was a chance in the world that AMZN would start to sell these 43 million shares of dilution before they had some sort of push up. And my kind of bottom for that range for them to start selling was near $20. Maybe even $15. But let me tell you something. They surprised us all. They sold around 17 million shares with a price average of $9.7. Now people are going to say, Tyler, you're a shill. You're hating on the stock. No, I'm just giving you the facts, and I don't know why anyone else is not talking about this. I will say shout out to Matt Kors because he did announce this at the end of the earnings call, and he did kind of say that wasn't really good overall. Shout out to Matt Kors. Stay transparent. I appreciate what you did. I had a little bit of a problem with you before, but overall, I appreciate what you did. Very honest guy. Super good stuff. Kind of getting some reliable content from the dude. Appreciate it. Good for the community. Next subject, going into that as well. It's highly probable that they're going to dilute those 26 million shares if we push a little bit higher.
Could you please stop being such a buzzkill, dude?
Now, people were saying, well, Tyler, this wasn't going to happen. Well, I'm telling you, they did it, and they averaged at $9.7 a share. Either they didn't think we were going to get another push up, or they just really needed the money right now. And it has you believing as well, since they were so confident to say that they don't need any more money till 2023. Why are they taking the money so quickly right now? I'm just saying we have to play devil's advocate to all the scenarios, so I do want to point that out. So going back to the 26 million, I do believe that will get sold off sooner than later. So as we get pushes up, I do anticipate as we start retracing back down, AMC might start diluting more stock just in case they never get that 500 million. Who knows what's going to happen? Because worst case scenario on their end, the stock absolutely plummets, which I'm not saying it's possible. I'm just saying this is in theory what they're probably looking at. Worst case scenario, AMC stock drops. All the holders never vote on a dilution ever again, which I want to talk about here in a second. And then, you know, they're just stuck holding the bag and maybe sell at a lower price. Who knows? So they're just trying to, I guess, secure as much as they can. I don't really know what they're doing at this point. I think it was kind of foolish for them to sell this early in the game. But whatever, it has to make you question some certain things, though. Leading on to the next statement. In the earnings call as well, Credit Suisse, I believe her name was Megan. You can go check out the earnings transcript. It's pretty just in exact wording. But she came in and asked, what are you going to do about the share dilution if voters won't vote yes? Now, AMZN's exact words had me a little bit confused. And maybe, you know, I'm being a woman here. No offense to my ladies, but you have to admit sometimes you overthink. And so maybe I'm overthinking what AMZN said. He said, ultimately, the owners are going to win. But he said, however, management works for the owners and management's going to do what's best for the owners. So there's a little bit of rhetoric in there. I could be reading into this too much. However, I didn't love the answer. I wish he would have just said shareholders will win all the time. But let's just say in theory, what if shareholders in theory, like I said, don't know what's best for the company and they end up diluting what they want to do? I don't know the legality behind this. I need to look more into that. So I don't want you to run with that just yet. That's just over the top of theory, not even, I would say that's like a 20% possibility that bad happens. So think about that as a 20% possibility that's a bad. But let's get to the good news. What's the good news? Well, number one, June 2nd, mark your calendars, tell your mom, tell your dad, and tell your kids if you got them because they might be getting an early Christmas present. The share recount is on, and this is what we needed. We prayed to God in the last video that we would get the share recount, and let me tell you something. Jesus Christ answered the calls. Let me tell you something. So give you a good Shabbat Shalom this Sunday because our boy answered the call. So we got June 2nd, the upcoming share recount. We got the investor meeting as well. After that, it's looking pretty good. Number 2, let me tell you something. We need to talk about iBorrowDesk. From our good boy over at Trades, Holy Toledo, we are sitting at 26.5%, and we're back at the tippity top of the mountain, boys and females. We are sitting up there, traders, and let me tell you something. The options have never looked so juicy. I predict on coming in on Monday, we're going to get a pretty strong move to open up the week. I'm looking very positively at this. But what we saw from the last drop, people were saying, why did we see the drop? Why was it so nasty? Correction back to the downside. High possibility that was AMC selling. But looking at what's happening, they sold, and then look at that fee. It's 26.5%. It rose right back to the top. And if I didn't have confidence before, let me tell you something. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling like Peter Parker, Spider-Man 3, right when I got the black suit.
Your shots are so good.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
Now we'll come back over to Yahoo Finance. And I want to point out right here, the volume looks pretty trash today. However, we got a very good move back to the upside with little to no volume. Guys, I'm telling you, as we look at the chart, there's a reason to be excited. So here's this bad boy. As we mentioned yesterday, from that green line that you can see, I haven't even touched this since then. You can see we actually held that zone, didn't even come down to 8.86, about 8.9, bounced pretty well off that in the middle of the day. So we actually came to start the day, came down, and boom, rocket launcher straight to the tippity top. And then we got a retrace back to that daily open, bouncing back up. I love what we're seeing. This is the 15 minute. Let's bust out to about the 1 hour. I love what I'm seeing. The only thing that doesn't look great is that we're not holding above the VWAP. However, everything else looks absolutely phenomenal. So VWAP is also bottoming out, as we can see here. Let's go to the 15 minute, get a better look at that one as well. Then you can see we're getting that local bottom. We did get a massive push. The OBV went through the roof, yet there was no volume logged. Let me tell you something. It's not going to take that much volume to get this thing moving once again. The fees are getting to record high levels. The only thing, in my opinion, that will slow us down is the periodic selling of AMC from those shares diluted. There's 26 million left. I really wish they would all just be gone, so then we only have one direction to go. So that's why the availability, in my opinion, is becoming, larger and larger right now. So we are getting that drop, getting that local bottom going into the week. End of the week, I think we'll probably flatline, and then I'm looking very excited for Monday morning. Now, I understand markets are still open, so I need to push this out as quickly as possible. But overall, guys, I'm telling you, this thing looks beautiful. I expect a 10.10, 10.15 retest easily Monday morning. That doesn't happen. We're just getting some sideways movement. I want to see a 10.10, 10.15 retest early Monday morning. We want to see volume coming back in as quickly as possible, but I'm telling you, the icing on the cake is that iBorrowDesk information. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. This is where I want to put everyone's attention to. This is what's going to give us the move. Now, people are going to say, Tyler, what's your viewpoints long-term? Long-term, I'm still not a huge fan. After June 2nd, we'll get a lot of answers, a lot of clarification. But until then, I'm a June 2nd trader here. Now, people are saying, Tyler, you're not an ape. You're not holding till the moon. No, I'm not holding till the moon. Okay, I'm just trading options. Now, people are saying, well, Tyler, why are you just trading options? Well, look right there, okay? That's why I'm trading options. People in the group, we made a solid over $3,000 on one trade to end the week when everyone else was focused on AMC. Now, I get it. I believe in what AMC is doing, but I'm waiting for what's coming out. I wanted to see what happened with this news, and waiting from this news, you got your answer. You got a clear-cut date. We're in for a wild ride to end the month, but that doesn't mean you should not be taking advantage of the bull market that we are living in right now. Ask the Discord members down below how much we are making, the profits that we're pulling in, even when the market looks absolutely sketchy. So wrapping up the video, AMC, what do I see happening? I see a very strong upcoming 1 to 2 weeks. Going into June 2nd, I'm going to be very excited, very vigilant of everything going on. However, we need to be watching out for those dilution shares coming back out from AMC. I do believe those 26 million are going to come off the table. I recommend just keeping an eye out for that. Don't be too greedy on profits. And if you want to play it the smart way, you can try to catch these resistances at these tops and then enter again back low, or trade options like some of the other traders and then buy some shares if that's really what you want to do. This is not financial advice. This is just my personal opinion. Use me as a trading indicator. Do not take everything I say 100% as factual. You need to do your own research, do your own DD, because you are responsible for your money. If you're interested in joining the Patreon link's down below. I recommend that you ask some members in the comments down below, or jump into the live and ask them there. Never ask the YouTuber's opinion of their own product. I highly doubt someone's going to say my product sucks. So I recommend asking people that use the product. That's probably the best case scenario to use here. I love you all. Have a good one. Namaste.